Hey everyone, we are here with another edition of Previews. You guys know normally I'm sitting on the end. I got candy in my mouth now, I probably shouldn't have it, but anyway. But I'm sitting in the middle this time because I'm interviewing the cast along with the stage manager and directors and artistic director of art at Burning Coat Theater. And I'm also in the production. So this time I get to, I don't know, can't I ask myself a question? I don't know. So I'm going to start with everyone introducing themselves. Start from my left. I'm sorry. Let me get it out. Tell who you are. What are you doing with this production?
Hi, I am Byron Jennings II, and I'm playing Mark.
I'm Jerome Davis. I'm the artistic director of the theater.
I'm Kenneth Hinton. I'm the director of the play.
I'm Amelia Lumpkin. I'm the assistant director of art.
I'm Preston Campbell. I play Serge.
I'm Sunita Liu, and I am the stage manager.
And I'm Juan Isler, and I play Yvonne. Okay, so I'm going to start with the artistic director. Jerry, what made you decide to do art this season?
Well, there's some very practical reasons. One is that the play is a 3-character play, so it's a little bit safer to rehearse than, say, Evita or something like that. The second is it's a comedy, and I felt like at this particular moment in our history that it might be good to laugh a little bit. And the third is that we had these 3 terrific male actors. Can I say middle-aged? Is that okay? Or you
I don't think I'm quite across that
middle to that we've never been able to get on a show together, all 3 of them. And when I had that thought, art quickly followed. So that's basically.
Well, okay, so he doesn't really have a play anymore because I quit. Let me ask you this question. So the previous productions of art have had obvious differences in the cast. And Jerry, I know that was
They've all had.
they've all had hair, and this cast doesn't. Jerry, that was a decision you made. Was there any particular reason, or?
I don't think so. No, if it was something buried inside of me. The most of it is just about that idea of it being a great play, being a great comedy, and having 3 terrific actors that were exactly right for the roles, I think. And Ken was very generous in allowing me to cast it for him. He said, "Yeah, you go ahead and do that part." But it was a no-brainer with the casting of this one.
Okay. Ken, since he mentioned you, you are now this gentleman. Tell him where you work.
I am on the faculty, theater faculty at North Carolina Central University.
Okay. So the majority of your work has been with students,
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
How was it for you working with 3 semi-professional?
Seasoned actors.
Yes, thank you. Not middle-aged, seasoned.
I want to thank Jerry first for giving me this opportunity. Jerry and I worked together for a long time, and we never got a chance to actually work on the same play together. And this particular play he chose, and the cast, it's a godsend. It just dropped it in my lap, and I'm just eating it up, because working with students, I have to not only direct, I have to teach acting, teach a drama, teach how they walk, how they move, and the whole thing. But with this cast, my friend Juan had to tell me, "Ken, you don't have to do all that. All you have to do is tell these professional actors what they need to do," and it's just been wonderful. And this play, the script is just amazing when you see this play. So I'm just lucky. As you said, I talk a lot. So I'm just lucky to be involved in this.
You gave me a wonderful answer. I appreciate that. Amelia, you are the assistant director, and she's also directing over at Justice Theater, which I will be interviewing them soon. By the way, you need to put me on schedule to interview.
Okay.
Yes, I just did that. That's how we do it.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. This play originally was written in French
That's right.
and obviously took place in France. Was there a change with doing it with this cast?
Well, I think it's interesting. Yasmina Reza, who is the playwright, is a French woman of color, and she's chosen to write this play about three men and their particular friendship. So there's already sort of a play with lenses going on there. And as we perform the translation, we see our three characters who may or may not be French. They're all Black men, and we're seeing them by the magic of theater in English so that we can hear and understand. And we did talk a bit about some of the funky words and vocabulary that come up in the play, as well as the phrasing. And we just wanted to make sure that the language sounds clear and not distracting at any point. So when you come to see the show, you will find familiar language, you'll feel like you're watching your friends, and it will be very accessible to this audience. At the same time, you're having a transported experience, getting to know a bit of French theater and theater by a women playwright.
Thank you. Sunita, you are the stage manager for this production.
Yes.
What is this, has this experience been different than other theater experiences you've had?
Yes, so starting off as a stage manager, I did mostly dance. But since I've moved to the Raleigh area, I've been doing more straight plays, but most of the shows I've worked on have been larger shows, or in this past year, a handful of one-man shows. So this is like in between, and so it's been interesting finding that balance from a one-man show where the director and the actor have a more intimate relationship and like talking back and forth and designing the entire show together, versus shows that are a larger scale of 10 to 15 actors where you would have the director making all the decisions and the actors maybe on occasion putting in their input. This being on a smaller scale, being able to have like that balance in there a bit more. I mean, obviously also our sound designer is also performing it, so, you know, he gets to put his input in a little bit as well. But yeah, I think that's one of the things I do enjoy about being a contracted stage manager is every show I work on is completely different because every theater's different, every director's different, every cast is different. And so it's always having to like warp my experience every time I start a new show.
Okay. Stand with you for a minute, Sunita. It's like, oh God. For our viewing audience that are not as familiar with theater, what is your job as a stage manager?
So stage manager wears many hats. We are usually the second person after the director is chosen for a show that is picked for the show. We are usually there for the very beginning of auditions. We run production meetings. We make sure that we follow any union rules in rehearsals. We make sure that we stay on time and on task in rehearsals so that we can get everything done in time. Then we enter this lovely thing called Tech Week, which if any of you guys were in college, you remember Hell Week. That is our Hell Week. So it is a week of just living in the theater and getting everything ready for the show. And at that point, I take the reins of the entire show. I make sure that the show runs smoothly, and then once the show opens, I call everything that happens. So if you see a light change, if you hear a sound happen, if you see something fly across the stage, it is me on a headset telling someone to do that.
Yes, unless of course it's me flying across the stage, and then there is no telling what might happen.
What is it?
Right, at that moment, you all know how I am. Byron,
Yes.
tell us, without giving everything away, tell us about your character.
So Mark, I don't think this will give much away, but he is a man who believes in and loves classic art. And so this particular piece that is purchased by Serge, played by Preston Campbell, Mark is not a big fan of this, to say the least. And it opens, not only does he express it to his friend Serge, but this is sort of the gateway to other things in his friendships with Serge and Yvonne, played by you. And so it's just a fascinating way to, you start the show with art, but then we go much deeper. And we talk about life and friendship and what constitutes art and friendship. So I love it, that had an appeal to me. And kind of piggybacking on something that Jerry said about being a comedy, Jerry commented on it, was like, yes, because almost everything I've done this past decade has been heavy. The one-man show, which had some comedic elements, but overall, you know, the normal heart, playing Colin Powell and stuff happens, you know, that had some, and so my friends were like, could you do a comedy? Ragtime, I was called House of Ragtime, you know how that, like everyone's like, can you do something lighter? And I'm drawn to heavy stuff. It's just always the way, but it is nice to flex my comedic muscles. For everyone who thinks comedy is easy, it is not. It is not. Comedy is just as difficult as drama, maybe more so, because timing is everything. It is not easy to make people laugh, and to make a play like Art, which is beautifully written by Yasmina Reza, to make something like that go well, like a well-oiled machine, you have to have some great timing, you have to know the show backwards and forwards, so that's what we've been working on. It's good to sink my teeth into a comedy.
Okay. Mr. Campbell, tell us about Surge. I know, that's like looking for your father.
Yes, sir, what's your question?
Tell us about Surge.
Alright, well, Serge is basically the guy who, I guess you could say, like, gets the ball rolling on basically the show. He's the guy that buys the artwork in question, and that basically just begins this whole, like, you know, avalanche of, like, just stuff going on throughout the rest of the show. And it's all brought by this painting that I think is one of the greatest things in the world, while my other friend Mark thinks it's, or whatever he thinks, just, you know, not as well as I do. And you have our guy Yvonne, who's in the middle. And throughout the course of the show, you see that my character Serge is more into modern day contemporary art, and there's also this thing about, like, you know, like, is contemporary art, you know, even worthily, you know, like, be examined as like true art, because there's some who like have this opinion of like, no, this isn't art and this is art, which art is, you know, subjective. What's the word I'm trying to say?
Subjective.
Thank you. I can't speak right now.
It's been a long day in person.
Yeah.
Y'all had the end of our rehearsal, that's why.
It's like almost 10:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. So.
Oh, okay.
No, so yeah, the play, right? The play. I just want to go ahead and say that it is truly an honor and privilege to be acting, you know, opposite, you know, you guys to finally, because we've actually had worked before on other shows, just that none of us like together like
We
this.
have a
Like,
scene together. in
well,
Normal
we
Heart.
had that one scene in Normal Heart, our exchange, our main exchange of dialogue was this: "Hi everyone," and I walk off stage.
Yes.
That is the extent of
Yes.
me and Myra's dialogue, and
Yeah.
me and Juan.
Playing together, yeah. So, okay.
And you, Mom, could you tell us about you?
Yeah, I
have a question.
Okay, God, dude. Okay, so Jerry was the only one that did what y'all said y'all were gonna do before we started the interview, so I'll go ahead and do it. You have to come see the play in order to understand what I'm doing right here, so y'all definitely need to see it for this. You got two ways you can see it. You can either come to the theater, or you can do it virtually at burningcold.org. So make sure you get your ticket. Now, Yvonne is just your average guy who is somewhat of a comedian, nothing like me. And he, I don't know, he just wants his friends to get along. He really wants to make everyone else happy, because he feels like he'll be happy if everyone else is happy. So he just wants to go along and get along. That's basically what my character is in this. So I'm more or less the middleman, generally, all the time. They don't want to admit it, but I'm the middleman. Everybody wants Yvonne's approval. See, I don't even know my name. But it's Yvonne. I tried to get them to change it because it's spelled Y-V-A-N. I wanted it to be Ivan. What grown man is middle-aged? Grown man is named Yvonne.
You know, you're gonna accept
Is your
someone
name
who actually,
Yvonne?
who's actually
Comment
named
on this video?
Yes, and if you're French, it's Yvonne.
We'll throw.
I'm pretty sure there's someone out there named Yvonne. Like, how dare you insult me like that?
Okay, yeah, well, you're insulted. So,
That part.
No, he's looking at Brain Pool Theater.
there is something that, and I'm just gonna bring it up, it's obvious, I think it's a wonderful thing. I want to thank Jerry for this. It probably wasn't done intentionally, because Jerry doesn't just do something just to say, I'm gonna do it this way, but they're obviously looking on this stage, there is a lot of ethnicity, yeah, that's it, on this stage, and I think that's a wonderful thing to happen, and thank you, Bernie Cole, for that. As I said, the reason why I said it wasn't done on purpose is because I worked, in fact, the three of us have worked at Bernie Cole for years, and we have been cast in productions, not because of this, but I know them two because they're talented actors. Okay. If I can remember a line, I'm good. I just think the first thing I saw when Jerry said the three of us were casting this, I was like, is this a ball man's play? I said that before I said the black part, so there's that. But any final words from anybody about what we're about to embark on we hope the next 3 weeks. It's snowing, y'all. Somebody please stop it.
Yeah.
But Jerry has promised us that we're doing 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Whether it is the next 3 weeks or in July, we're still sitting up here trying to get on this stage. This is our set. It is not finished yet. You know, I like to show it in its raw form. So this is going to be where we're going to be living for the next 3 weeks because it's going to stop snowing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But any last words?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what you're saying too, about having a play that traditionally hasn't been done with, a black cast, or and this is being done, with a black cast, and like you said, not because we need to play with black people, we just need like actors in it, and gathering us together with our unique, skills and traits, and coming together and doing this show. That is, I do find very commendable, and very honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think it really connects to what Byron was saying about a lot of the plays you've been doing have been so heavy. And we find that all the time in black plays, and we need to talk about the black experience. A lot of it's a little tough, but part of the black experience is also friendship. And so we get to see friendship, we get to see male friendship, we get to see black friendship, and we're finding our own connections to these universal themes. So definitely come see that, come see a black version of this play, come see ensemble, come see comedy, come see art.
The male friendship part, if you don't mind, is a big part of it for me too. It's something I see running this theater over the last 25 years is that men are becoming more increasingly rare. They ain't there anymore. So
Yeah, exactly.
A rental in a school production of Godspell just came with a cast of 20, 19 of them were girls. High school kids.
In theater,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, and that would not have been the case when I was in high school. There would have been, boys would have been represented. And I'm concerned about that. I don't think that's a fluke. It's something I've seen happening with a greater regularity over the last 25 years, and I'm worried about it. I don't think that's a good thing. So male friendship, a play that celebrates male friendship and digs deep into it and says, look at what's down there, I think is really important to do as well.
Well, definitely, thank you for that. Everybody, we need to get some males, I'm gonna let you say something. We need to get some more males in theater. We need to get some. If you come in and you're good, I recommend you. Now, I ain't recommending just anybody, okay?
Well, one of the things I wanted to say was, you're not coming to see black actors. You're coming to see actors. Just like Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier could play any role, and these three black actors can play any role. And when you see them perform, oh my God, you're gonna love it. So come and see this great piece of work with these fine, talented actors.
Okay, I don't know how these other two feel, but I just got put in a paragraph with the late great Sidney Poitier. I'm not well right now. I just want y'all all to know, I'm not well.
Yeah, that kind of hit me. That hit me a bit.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. Like, you know, like I'm not sure. Like, I probably should ever, like, you know, been on record on saying that, like, you know, Sidney Poitier is like my number one favorite actor of all time. And so, of course, like his passing was just, you know, heartbreaking. And it is, like, you know, interesting. Like, you know, after his passing, like the three of us are, like, you know, coming together and doing
Yeah, it
this.
is, yeah.
So that's.
Well, when you saw him act, you did not see him as being black.
No.
That's what the reference I'm trying to make with y'all, your characters.
Yes.
No, I just say, I think you all have made some really good points. You know, one of the things, sort of theater-wise, and I've talked about this in the past too, it's always important for me, and growing up and doing theater and stuff, that I never felt like there was any role I could be cast in. That was something that was instilled in me at a very young age. And I have, particularly in this area, played a lot of, I did was the lead in Inherit the Wind. A 39-year-old man, then actually was 38, I didn't quite turn 39 when I did that. And I'm a black actor playing one of the most iconic roles. And I did that for Just Theater Project. And being able, there's never been any kind of play around here that I thought, unless it explicitly, the characters, but no. And that was certainly something that was influenced by Sidney Poitier. Getting to see actors who said, Audra McDonald, that is a career that, I mean, if you look at Audra, her first Tony was for Carousel. Carrie Pepperidge. Like, that is not a role, you know. And so Jerry has been so wonderful to me. I've been working for him since 2008. And I've gotten to do some of my best work here. But also thank you to all the directors in the area who cast me in roles that it's been non-traditional, I don't want to say colorblind, non-traditional casting, because you see my color. Non-traditional casting because you felt that I was the best person in that moment in time for the role.
You know, something I want to say right quick, and off, piggyback off something you said about you casting a role unless it specifically said it in the script.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all about Jerry Davis. There was a script that specifically said it. He called the playwright and asked him to change it so I could play the role.
Wow.
So I'm saying this to you young people who are trying to get in theater. Don't let a theater, I'm just gonna put it out there, don't let a theater tell you, well, it says in here that it has to be a white man or it has to be a black man. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't think Jerry would play Martin Luther King, because that's just.
I don't know, maybe.
That's art part two.
That's art part two.
And Serge directs the play.
Yes, Serge will direct it.
Oh, Serge.
But don't, as Byron was saying, don't let anything hinder you, don't let anything stop you. I still think it's wonderful to see the people that I see up here, because we're not always given opportunities and chances at other theaters, because they look at certain plays and they automatically put a color in their mind of who they've seen before, and so what they expect in the future. And I think everyone sitting here can agree Vernon is not some place that does that. Thank God, because we have something to do. I think I am about done, guys. I know it's probably been longer than 30 minutes. Well, no, we might be good on the 30 minutes.
What else do we want to talk about then? Do we need to make, like, we need to do a third, like, what, anything else? World events?
No, he want to do an episode of Torn. We're not doing that, it's late. I'm
Very nice.
But,
Stay safe.
the play starts when?
February 27th.
Thursday, yes.
January 27th to February 13th.
What,
And
here or?
how many times a week?
It is Thursday through Sunday each week.
Okay.
Thursday through Saturday are 7:30 showings, and Sundays are 2 o'clock showings, and we have a one school showing, on February 4th at 10 a.m.
Is it gonna be done from here in the school or at the school?
It'll be here, the students will be bused here.
Oh, okay, students will be coming in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a play about love, so it's near Valentine's Day, love of friendship, love of art. So bring a date, or watch it at home with a date for Valentine's Day. February 13th is our last show, that's Valentine's Day Eve.
What about, these things? What about the COVID situation?
So,
How is that gonna be?
I believe that we are going to get half capacity in the theater. Everyone has to be wearing a mask that is in the audience. And they're doing temperature checks at the door. Was there one more thing, Jerry?
We have the air filtration systems running throughout the building, so hopefully that will help as well, purification systems.
Okay.
All right.
And just so we want to say, Bernie Cole has been great too about our COVID protocol. We have been super safe here. We get tested regularly, weekly, actually, just to be more specific. And we send our test results to Sunita, who gets test results all the time, and her other job. So
We like put her on edge. We like when we send her the information about our test results. We don't really preface by saying like whether or not we are positive and negative. She's like test results, and she's like.
Yeah, I open every email, and I have to open every image of the email, and I just have to be like, please, 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 and it's negative. I'm like, oh, thank God.
So we've been safe so that we can bring to you a good show, and we just hope in return that you all are safe out there. We're not done with this yet, but please be responsible, please be safe, take care of yourselves and each other, and we hope to see you, or virtually hope to see you.
I believe after the first show, there will be a virtual talk back as well.
Saturday, first Saturday.
Oh, the first Saturday,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so the 29th, there's a virtual talk back. You guys can see that virtually online. There's no in-house talk back at all?
Oh, yeah, it'll be for the audience.
Oh, the big audience here too, and them. 29th, Mama, I'm sorry, it's my mom's birthday, I can't go home.
Oh,
She should be here.
Go wish her happy birthday.
She'll be here virtually, she ain't coming up. And it is, and nothing bad about the theater, it's just COVID, my mom, she ain't coming. So anyway, guys, that is all I have. I really appreciate you guys being here, finding out what you guys do. You know what, I didn't do that part, did I? Do you want to tell what you guys do outside of theater?
No,
Okay.
I don't. You guys can't.
Never mind, if everybody wants to do it, we're done, we're good. But everyone here has a job, correct?
Yes.
40-hour week job.
Yes.
Except for, well, Jerry's our artistic director. This is-
oh, it's like a pass.
I know, right? I say that to say that,
Most of us have multiple jobs.
yes, that a lot of people say who are qualified to do theater in the area say they can't do it because they work full-time. We all work full-time. There's a will, there's a way. So if it's something a passion you've had and you thought about doing it, this is semi-professional. I call it semi-community professional. Those three words don't normally go together, but yeah, I say that because the community, Jerry gets people from the community to come and perform here. The three of us are in this community. So it is professional, but we are community players, so to speak. So it's semi-community professionals. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much, and I probably will be seeing you next over at JTP with this one again. So, talk to you then, all right?
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Good night.
Come see art.